but I'm still, you know, about on par of what I would be if I worked for a major firm. And then the crash happens. And I did a good job of living below my means. Like even in school, I didn't have a cell phone until I was in law school. There's just a lot. I didn't have a credit card until I had graduated already. So there's a lot of things I did that didn't put myself financially in the hole outside of whatever expenses I had to go to school. And I did a good job saving when I had the money come in. I didn't expect to go through such a long period of time where things were financially, you know, not great. The real estate industry just stopped. The entertainment industry pretty much stopped. A lot of it left Atlanta. And so I did a good job saving, but I didn't do a good job diversifying funds and having more funds go in, invest in things that would pay me back. So I ran out of my savings at some point in that 3-4 years that things were really low. And so now my mindset, you know, don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but we're heading towards another similar depression, well, recession, I should say. We hope that cooler heads will prevail and it won't go as far as a depression, but you never know what decisions people, you know, in positions will make that lead to that. And so this time around, it's like thinking of all the different ways that I could have money coming in, even if it's not my primary job, things that are investments where you really don't have to work a lot with, just always looking at those things because you never know what can happen. There could be a natural disaster that comes, like God forbid, like what happened in Florida and Texas, and they're going months and months with the whole city not really functioning as it was before. So living below your means, budgeting, all of these ladies with their advice on how to pay yourself, but also looking at how many ways can I have money coming in, especially if it's not something I have to put a whole lot of effort and energy into every day. Like you may have to get it started, but something that kind of like runs itself. Just always thinking of what you can do to do that is really important.
Can I say something real quick? And I went through the crash, so, and it was devastating because you were working and we were selling deals, we were selling houses, money was constantly coming in. All of a sudden it was like, and it was like no money, nothing in the pipeline, nobody buying, nobody selling, nobody's doing anything. What I learned from that was get out of debt. Get out of debt. My thing was I will never get caught in this position ever again. So what I did for my family is I got us out of debt. So, and I saved a lot of money. And so if it happens again, that's okay. I mean, it happens. I mean, it comes up and it ebbs and flows. I mean, it is what it is. But the biggest thing I would tell people is keep your debts low. If you have to have some, keep them low so that you're not devastated when it does come.
I'll make mine quick, but I agree with everything everybody said. So basically, live below your means. Every dollar has a name. So like when you get that $6,000 check, you know, don't think that you can just go spend it or go on a trip or go buy some Ferragamos or some Gucci, like because it doesn't appreciate anyway. You know what I mean? Buy appreciating assets. Don't buy liabilities. I was speaking at Doug High School yesterday, and the lady that spoke before me, she was in banking, and she said that the Cathy family, Truett Cathy, before he passed away, for 10 years drove a Honda Accord. He was a billionaire. He was worth $4 billion when he passed away. He was driving a Honda Accord. How many people do you know, with that type of wealth that would have been driving Lamborghinis or, I don't know, I'm not into stuff like that, but a high-end vehicle, and if you think about the people with a higher net worth, don't spend it on frivolous things. It'll be assets. And so keep that in mind, but then also on the commercial side, you could be working on a deal for a year. It can fall out, or you work on a deal and then it gets extended. So you truly have to live beneath your means and plan and save and just be wise on what you spend. So
I'll just like to add one last thing. So I have this concept where I try to help people, but I feel like the best help I can do is making sure I take care of myself and that people don't have to help me. And so being in a position where I needed family and friends to help me, it was really hard for me at first. But then they would tell me, you put yourself in a worse position when you don't come to us for help, when you might just need a little bit to tie you over 1 month, and then now, you know, you're 2-3 months, because when money comes in, you gotta pay late fees and all that. And so it took me a while to get comfortable with that. But now if I know something's coming up and I'm low, and even though I know it's gonna come or I've got something else coming in, I will go to family and friends, and they, you know, they are been a part of my journey. They're very involved in what I do, and I keep them informed. And so there are going to be people in your network that are willing to help you when, you know, you need a little bridge here or there, and don't be afraid to ask or to receive it, because it does make things run smoother all the way around. And it is a lot smoother than when I would just, you know, wait till the last absolute minute and I'm like, okay, I need something tomorrow, because I was really hoping this came through. And so I'm more comfortable with that now, because before it was just like, I'm an adult, I'm, you know, supposed to take care of myself, but that's what, you know, family and friends are there for, and then you're able to return the favor as well for them.
And I have one more thing too. You also mentioned about having additional streams of income, and that's the truth, because everything that we do is transaction based. You don't want to do that forever. You know what I mean? Like at some point you do want to quote unquote retire or be able to have kids, or you know what I mean, take a break or take a vacation. So so what I just started doing is I have a designation, and I realized that there was an opportunity to teach. So I went through the process of getting certified, or not certified, but the ability to be able to teach through that. So now that's an additional stream of income. You teach, you get paid. You teach, you get paid. You know, it's not like you work a year and you might get paid. So.
I have one question, ma'am.
This is a hard question. So I noticed all of you guys have been in the business for a long time. If someone was trying to get into the, and I guess we kind of focus on commercial, and there's different aspects of commercial, right? If I wanted to make money quick, what aspect of commercial would I get into? And if I wanted to,
Define quick. I'm going to say residential. Residential would be the response. That's it. Quick commercial, that doesn't even, they don't go together. 30-day, you can have a 30-day transaction on a residential type of commercial. No, you can't even do due diligence in 30 days. It's like 40 days to 90. I have a contract now, 120 days due diligence.
So I can't lease an apartment building or a dental office and get paid in 30 days?
You're trying to... It's still
If you
due
already
diligence
own it.
involved. Yeah, if
You
that's to
already
me,
own it, and then you can.
to me, that's not a wise investment. You know, 30 days, if you,
All right, well, that's good to know. Thank you.
That makes me nervous when you say quick.
So, I'll just share this quick story. My dad, he was an entrepreneur, and he lived with a safe person. My dad died a few years ago, but my mom is safe. So when you're married to an entrepreneur, it's hard for a person who's not. And so when my husband and I decided to become investors, I read the book, Robert Kiyosaki. I was like, oh, we're gonna do this, rich. My mother sat me down and said, listen, make sure you count the costs. Budget your money, save, because I have nothing to give you. I can't save you. I can't help you. Your father drove me insane. And she was trying to be supportive, but a person who is safe doesn't understand this business. And they don't understand the stress of this. We're all smart, they're all so cute, they're smiling, they're saying it very nicely, but it's very, very stressful. And so my mother was very clear. And she let us live with her once because we sold a house so quickly, we were homeless. Just for like a few weeks, good homeless. You know, but other than that, she was like, count the cost, I can't help you, I don't have anything to give you. And my dad, you know, he passed and left her money, and we didn't want to take that. Because you know, in this business it's tough. And nobody wants to see you, they want to borrow money from when you close. Oh yeah. Yeah. People know how much you make before you close. But when you need money, you need lots of money. You know, like $5,000 and $10,000 at a time. So I just want to share that.
But I was gonna say, living like this as an entrepreneur, it makes you hustle, because you have to make it, because you have to pay bills, you have to survive. You gotta put gas in your car to get to these properties and everything else, so that puts a sense of urgency on just making it happen.
And no one wants to work with a broke agent. So we have to do this, and we have to, and it is clear when you're not financially well. People know it, they smell it, and then you start to compromise. Because I know people that compromise, so you have to, that's why this question is important to share to me, because so many of us think it's so glamorous, but it's really not. And your wealthiest people are quiet, so that. So this question is for our attorneys. What are some of the mistakes that you see agents make that could cost them their license? That you see often?
Earnest money.
This was already highlighted once before, but the biggest thing is commingling funds. Not creating that line of separation between yourself and your business. At the end of the day, when you're doing a real estate transaction, it is a business. It is a business transaction, and putting yourself in jeopardy by mixing those funds together puts yourself personally on the hook. Those assets that may come from other places will be up for grabs. I see this happen day in and day out. You know, just it's free. Well, depending on where you bank, BB&T is free. I know Fidelity, I think they also have a free business checking account up until a certain point. But either way, the loss is $12 at the point in which you decide to, you know, pay a monthly fee to maintain an account. But really, creating a separate account, creating an LLC for yourself, paying yourself from that. Just creating a true line of distinction between yourself and your business. I see that happen all the time, where you take that check home, that's me by me, and you spend that money, and it may not all be your money, and then you have people coming back, where's my money, and then there's a lawsuit. And then now, you know, they're looking for that money, and now, oh,